Entrepreneurship Monitor. And this is a project that tries to assess the impact of entrepreneurship on economy. And we started this project 10 years ago with the London Business School. And then we went around and we got university teams in each of the countries that are listed here. And in Mexico, of course, the university team is from Tec de Monterrey. The gentleman that leads it is Alejandro Gonzalez. And I'm not exactly sure which campus he's at, so I apologize. But he is one of your own. And what we went out, and the first question we asked was this: are you in the process of trying to start a new business, or are you an owner of a business that is less than 4 years old? And we use the 4-year mark primarily because this is still kind of the early stages of an entrepreneurial business, and the chances of success and failure are still kind of in flux. And what you see over this graph is that the United States entrepreneurial activity rate is around 10%, which means that 1 out of every 10 people in the United States is in the process of trying to start a new business. If we look at Mexico, they're around 5%, which means that 1 out of every 20 people are in the process of trying to start a new business. Now, it's kind of interesting to look at the extremes, and we see that Peru is at the top of the chart, and Japan and Belgium tend to be at the bottom of the chart. And we can kind of think about what drives some countries to be more entrepreneurial than others. And one of the things that often comes to mind is, in my mind, is this idea of opportunity cost. If you're in a more developed country, such as Japan or Belgium, you tend to have really good employment opportunities. And if you're in Japan, for example, and you're leaving college, you're probably going to go to a job that's going to pay you around $100,000 a year, around the yen. And so that means if you were to go out and start your own business, you would have to have a business that can earn 10 times that revenue just to compensate you for the lost income that you would have had in your previous job. So that's about $1 million in revenue, and that can seem kind of intimidating. What we also see in the more developed countries is that they have really strong social safety. So if, God forbid, in the United States or Japan, you lose your job, the government is very generous with unemployment insurance and welfare payments.
Dr. Zach, I'm sorry, I'm not receiving sound, so I cannot continue. Would you mind waiting a second, please?
Microphone's off? Hello? Oh. Microphone on? Has it been off the whole time? Because you guys were awfully quiet. I didn't hear everything I was saying. I have a feeling that the battery might. Okay, let's see this. Hello? Am I back?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, maybe.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'll start back there. So, sorry for I lost you again. Oh, yeah. I can. It's just I like to wave my hands around so much. That's the problem. All right. Is this one on? I think this is an omen that this speech just shouldn't happen. Can you hear this? Oh, yeah, I can hear that. Okay. So we'll try with this. But anyways, in Japan, if you're earning $100,000 a year, you would need to start a new business that would earn at least 10 times that revenue, or had at least $1 million to offset the loss of income that you would have by starting a new venture. So there's a real high opportunity cost. And I think I started talking about the social safety net after that. But in the more developed countries, what we'll find is that if you do lose your job, you will get unemployment insurance and welfare payments, so you're not quite as inclined to start a new venture to help offset the lost income from your lost job. And so what you'll see here is that the countries that tend to be up towards the top tend to be less developed and have a lower safety net. And the countries in the middle and towards the bottom tend to be more developed. This chart here takes a look at the level of ownership in established businesses. And so these are businesses that are over 42 months old. And what we see here is that in the United States, that rate is around 5%, and in Mexico, it's about 2.5%. And so if we combine these rates together, we have this chart here, which shows that the United States tends to have a higher rate of new entrepreneurship and existing entrepreneurship than does Mexico. It just gives you a kind of comparison of how those things fall along the line. And then this chart summarizes it completely. And we can see that the overall entrepreneurial activity rate in Mexico is about 18%, whereas the overall rate in the United is, I'm looking at the one above it, is 7.4%. That's good. And the United States is about 14%. So when I was talking earlier about what drives people to be entrepreneurs, there are two types of entrepreneurs. There's opportunity-based entrepreneurs, and there's necessity-based entrepreneurs. Opportunity-based entrepreneurs on this chart are represented by the blue lines, and necessity-based entrepreneurs are represented by the red lines. And what we mean by necessity-based entrepreneur is they are out there creating a new business because they have no other source of income. What we mean by an opportunity-based entrepreneur is they're out there creating a new business because they think it will not only provide them satisfaction, but also a very attractive living in salary and rate of return. And so again, what you see is that the more developed the country, the greater their opportunity cost, the more likely they're going to pursue opportunity entrepreneurship versus necessity-based entrepreneurship. And when you look at the other end of the graph, where the countries tend to be less developed, they're more likely to have necessity-based entrepreneurship. So this creates a question for government policymakers. We know that entrepreneurship activity is correlated to economic growth. And we want to think about what type of entrepreneurship do we want to encourage. And so what I have up here is SME policy, which is just creating individual self-employment or necessity-based entrepreneurship. And then in the right-hand column, I have high-growth entrepreneurship, which is trying to encourage the right people in the right industries to create businesses because they're more likely to hire people and generate employment. What we see is that most countries have a combination of these things. If you're looking at SME policy, it tends to be more directed from the government with grants and things along those lines. And when you're looking at high potential venture creation, they usually have some kind of combination of public and private funds to try to spur economic activity. For example, in my home state of Massachusetts in the United States, we have an organization called the Massachusetts Development Technology Corporation, which receives some funds from the government, from the state, but it's most of its money from private organizations. And what they try to do is invest in companies that are going to generate big levels of employment in the state of Massachusetts.